Hey everyone, welcome to the live. Some of you might have seen me on Facebook doing my daily tarot pulls. I'll only be unfortunately on for half an hour because I do have a date night to get to. But till that time, happy to give all the guidance in the world with tarot, Lenormand, and all of my oracle cards, which by the way, I have a Spirit Mama deck, Moonology, Goddess, Shapeshifter, and also really, really fun are my Zodiac cards, because with how I work these guys is they have an outcome and an action possibility. And because there are 3 different pieces, I use my dice to see what cards to pull. Now, all questions are only $10 tonight, and that could be sent to Cash App or Venmo. I'm definitely going to be adding that to the chat right now. Yep. Excuse me. Mystic Moon, no O's. Madness. And all proceeds will actually go to a GoFundMe that I am producing to be able to buy a permanent location for my store and my readings so that I not only never have to move again because I am a renter, but also to actually have a home base to work on building my community up. One of the ways that I'm actually doing that right now is I do offer classes and tutorials on pretty much everything divination and magic at my store and in my own personal time. I offer guidance on how to know if your chakras are unbalanced in various ways beyond just stones and meditations. On balancing those out, I offer the proper and safe way to do spell work, along with many, many other topics. But you're not here to hear about that. You're here for the readings. So while we're waiting for people to join us, and because, hey, I know that I'm planning on leaving this up as a replay so that you guys can join me next Thursday, 7:30. And while we're waiting, let's do a quick demo. First, let's do a demo on that Zodiac deck that I was mentioning. Now, one of the things you're going to learn about me real quick is that I am definitely a little different from your garden variety reader. As my dice drop. Because you see, what I do instead of what a lot of readers do is if I'm going to use your zodiac sign to do my readings, I'm actually more likely to use your moon sign than your sun sign. Why is that? For those of you that don't know astrology very well, your sun sign is more or less your starter point. It's like that start square whenever you play a board game. It does still have an effect on your personality, abso-freaking-lutely, but it's almost like the stem cell start. Whereas your moon sign is how you process your world, your emotions, your life around you. And that's why I would rather do your moon sign instead of your sun sign, because I want to work with the part that's you. And to get us started, let's get a moon sign and use these guys to see how you can't best get the most use out of September, because, hey, we're only a week in really of September. So let's see how we can get the most use out of it. And Moon and Taurus people, that's who we're looking at right now. And now that we know that, and again, we're using my zodiac cards where there is a planet, zodiac, and a house that is going to give me a spiritual, try and get that glare off there, spiritual, mental, and physical answer. So how that's going to work is I'm going to use some dice that actually, unfortunately, did not come with the deck. They just happen to be very well meshed with, that also have a planet a zodiac sign, and 12-sided die for my house. So for our Moon and Taurus people, how are you going to best use this September and make it awesome? All right, so we've got Venus in Capricorn in the 10th house. So let's check that out. Okay, so we got Venus in Capricorn in the 10th house. And so that you guys can kind of see what I'm seeing, Venus in Capricorn in the 10th house. And you guys are, of course, more than welcome to take a screenshot. And let's see what that is telling us and how to interpret it. So spiritually, Moon and Taurus people, you need to cherish your goals responsibly. So Moon and Taurus people, I know I'm one of them. Sometimes we look at our goals and we look at them as everything. They are the basis of our life. They are all we can think about. We eat, sleep, and freaking live our goals to the point that it consumes us. And hey, that's not necessarily a bad thing, but we definitely still need to remember that there is other things in our world beyond our goals. And that's what it means to cherish your goals responsibly. Still hold them close, still work on them, but remember that there's a life outside of your goals. Mentally, enjoy the day-to-day reality of your success. So again, Moon and Taurus, so I fully understand this. Sometimes we don't realize that even though it doesn't look like we're successful, we are actually doing fully amazing. So enjoy the reality that, you know what, you still got up today, you still had something to eat, and most of all, you still had somebody out there that loved you. That alone is a successful day to me. And physically, charm, art, and beauty are the way to use the most business-like way and become a person of power and status. So, probably pretty self-explanatory, but guys, we are going to have to really mesh our logical and creative brains, get that charming side out, and honestly try and be our most beautiful self to become a person of power and status. So whatever that means to you, be it getting that promotion, getting the respect of someone that you've been trying to see you as more than just the random face in the crowd. Use that charm, use that beauty, and most of all, use that logic to show that you got beauty and brains to get that respect. And should you happen to see the replay and you want a little more clarification on that, I am always, always, always happy to give a couple of free clarifiers or to help explain things a little bit better. All you have to do is send me a message, a smoke signal, preferably not a smoke signal, but all you have to do is send a message and say, hey, did not fully understand that. Let me know what the reading was, and we will definitely break it down a little more together. Whew. Oh, don't mind me. This chair is not the most comfortable in the world, but it'll do. And we still have 20 minutes. How can we kill that time while we wait for somebody to come on in? I say another moon sign, and this time let's use this deck, because the cool part about this deck is that much like with my Zodiac deck, now don't get me wrong, absolutely love my tarot cards, but I know that a lot of people are like, girl, you ain't seeing that stuff. You're just pulling things out of your butt off of what you're either observing or what you're going through yourself. I'm going to tell you right now, tain't so, but I fully understand it because, hey, I do it myself with other readers whenever I choose to get an outsider to do a reading for me instead of doing my own. But the cool thing about these guys is that they come with the interpretations. As soon as I get that nasty, nasty glare off, but they come with the interpretations right on them, so I'm able to show you guys as I do the reading. So let's do a reading for a friend of mine, since I know that she's not watching, and see what her interview looks like tomorrow. Because she is looking at what is hopefully going to be an absolutely excellent job for her, working with kids. And let's see if it's going to be an excellent thing for her, or if I should probably call her and give her a really good reason that she should probably not take the job if she gets it. All right, so let's get her signifier card. And let's get her near past. And you guys might have noticed that I'm not drawing from the top of the deck. That's because I will always prefer the jumpers that give my most clean and clear reading. What she needs to focus on, what she needs to stop avoiding, that's a few cards too many that decide to throw themselves out that way. I'm thinking we can probably narrow this down. So what does she need to stop avoiding at the top of her list? All right, so we still had a whole bunch fall out, but only one fell down face down. So I'm guessing that that's the one that we're going to go with. And let's look at her near future. All right, we had a few flop out for that one. All right, so how I do this is a little different than most readers. I'm going to have you guys check out what I'm doing right now. Okay, so we have our signifier card, our near past, and for me, near past is typically anything from a couple days ago up to 3 months ago. What she needs to focus on, what she needs to stop avoiding, and her near future. So as far as signifier card, we've got the birds card. The birds signify dire misfortune and fierce enemies when near. Unfortunately, that seems to be the case for her because she has been going through a bit of a ringer. Because even in her near past, rapiers warn us against assaults which threaten and will occur sooner or later according to the distance from the person. She has had some nasty, nasty things happen in her near past, and she's still kind of dealing with them. Just not a fan. But what she needs to focus on is we have the dog card. The dog, if near, represents true friends. And she does have some great friends, so she needs to start actually letting them help her out. She needs to stop trying to be Miss Independent. But, hey, independent people typically are really good friends with other independent people, so that's probably why we're able to handle each other. The thing that she needs to stop avoiding is the ship card. The ship is the symbol of riches, and when near indicates wealth of inheritance or trade, also tells a voyage. So it looks like she needs to stop avoiding the fact that what she's going through right now is definitely a transition. And as much as it sucks and it hurts, it is a transition to go through yet another portion of a nasty chapter in our lives to get to the good stuff. But her near future has the tree, the mountains, and lilies card. Now, the mountains card is definitely a rough one, but the tree represents good health, and if near flowers, and lilies kind of count as a flower, fulfillment of highest hopes and dreams. And lilies forecast a happy life, but family stars surrounded by clouds. No clouds, so nothing to worry about. But it looks like she's definitely got good things coming her way, but she definitely wants to be worried about the mountains, indicating the presence of a mighty enemy. And that mighty enemy is more than likely her own self-doubt. Sorry, nose itch. But what else? You know what? Since technically in the description it is tarot reading, let's do one tarot reading before I jump off here for the night. And again, we're going to use our handy dandy dice for the moon sign. All right, so if your moon is in Scorpio, let's see what your biggest obstacle is going to be next week. And some clarifiers on how to either avoid it, make it better, or where it's going to specifically come from. So, moon in Scorpio, people, what is going to be your biggest obstacle next week? Moon in Scorpio, what is your biggest obstacle? All right. And don't worry, I will show everyone the cards. Now let's see how we can make that a little bit easier. What else? All right. So moon and Scorpio people, we have the upside down Seven of Cups and upside down Page of Swords. So it looks like you're going to have a hard time making the good choices, mostly out of impatience. Now, how you're going to be able to fix that? One, curb your selfish wants. We're all selfish to some degree. It's a normal, healthy thing, I promise. But there is such a thing as being too selfish. What you're going to want to do is remember your goals. Our upside down Knight of Cups is telling us that we're being selfish and kind of a little bit on the douchebaggery side. But the right side of world and the upside down Nine of Wands, this is telling us that our goals are achievable if we remember what they are. What are your goals that you want to accomplish next week? What are the things that you want to make happen? And I have a feeling that a lot of those choices are going to come with your money. All right. So if you have an opportunity next week to make cash, hey, air high five to you. But think about your relationship with money, and is that job or that opportunity really going to help you? Or is it going to set you back even further than what you are now? Most importantly, Moon and Scorpio people, listen to your gut. The Hermit's all about seeing your way in the darkness and using the lessons that you've already learned to expand your intuition and make sure that is the best that you can possibly make it. So, my Moon in Scorpio people, be wary of those decisions that you're making next week. Think about, is this really what you want? Is this really going to help you reach your goals? Or are you just being impatient and selfish? Think long and hard before you do it. And if you need to, hey, grab a buddy, grab a tarot reader. See if there's not a few different people or a few different ways that you can get all the information before you make those choices, because Seven of Cups, it's all about making the good choices and knowing the pretty shiny cup that may or may not be made of silver. It might be made of aluminum. Think before you do, guys. Now, one of the things I like to do for these lives is my self-care deck. And because we're almost out of time, we're definitely going to swing that in real quick. Now, for my overworked and underloved fellow psychopaths who just do nothing but work, 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 and no play, please listen to my self-care cards, because they are typically just little things that we can sneak into our day to make sure that we're not totally burning ourselves out, for one, and two, just be able to enjoy the life and the things that we do for the people around us a little better. All right, let's see what we're pulling out here. We're going to narrow that down a wee bit. Okay, one task. Oh my goodness. And again, whole stack. So, workaholics. Let's try and narrow that down on what we can do. What is one thing that we can do for our self-care? There we are. All right, so this will be good. Let them in. How do you respond when someone asks how your day is going? Do you feel compelled to say it's great even if it's rotten? Say the truth and see what happens. It's always better to share the load than to shrug it off. So honestly, I'm not going to lie, most of the time, we're all guilty of asking how someone's day is going. We really don't care. We're just, being polite. But you know what? Take the chance that someone legitimately wants to know how your day is going and say, you know what? My day has been sheer crap. My eyeliner dried up, car wouldn't start, ring hit my favorite shoes, whatever is just making your day a crap show. Feel free to let it all out. Are the kids driving you totally bonkers? You love them to death, but they're pushing you over the edge. Is your partner nagging about the dumbest stuff and makes you question your life entirely? Nothing wrong with it at all. Just let off all that steam and frustration so that you can go back to your home and your family and remember how much you love them. But it is about that time, so I am going to jump off here. I hope everyone enjoys the replay, and I will see everyone 7:30 next week. Night.